Nancy Guthrie revealed everything in the letter she left for her daughter, Savannah Guthrie. In the still pre-dawn hours of a cold February morning in 2026, Nancy sat quietly at her simple wooden desk inside the home she had treasured for decades in the Catalina foothills. The burnt adobe house, tucked near Campbell Avenue and Skyline Drive in Tucson, Arizona, had long been her sanctuary, a place that had sheltered her through seasons of joy and sorrow. At 84 years old, her hands quivered faintly as she lifted her pen, the ink moving across the page in careful, deliberate strokes. This was not just another letter. It was a confession, an unguarded outpouring from a heart she had kept protected for most of her life. Written to her youngest daughter, Savannah Guthrie, the accomplished and driven anchor of NBC's Today Show, the words were honest, vulnerable, and shaped by the wisdom of a life fully experienced. "My dearest Savannah," she began, "I have carried so much in silence, smiling through storms and being strong for everyone else. But now, as the shadows grow longer, I must tell the truth. I was never as unbreakable as I appeared." The note was found several days later after NY's sudden disappearance captured national attention. What began as a missing person report on February 1st, 2026 quickly escalated into a disturbing investigation involving signs of a struggle inside her home and the unexplained disconnection of her pacemaker monitoring app. The search led by the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI drew widespread media coverage intensified by Savannah's emotional appeals on social media. In a heartfelt Instagram video flanked by her siblings Annie and Cameron, Savannah pleaded, "Bring her home." The family offered financial rewards. The community gathered for prayer vigils at St. Philip's in the Hills Episcopal Church, while strangers across the country lifted up prayers for the safe return of a woman known for her faith and devotion. As the days stretched into a week, hope became intertwined with fear. NY's fragile health, her pacemaker, high blood pressure, heart complications, and reliance on daily medication made every passing hour increasingly urgent. She could not walk more than 50 yards without assistance. Yet, she had disappeared without a single trace. The devastating outcome came on February 10th, 2026, when authorities announced that NY's body had been discovered in a remote area outside Tucson. Investigators believe she had been the victim of a kidnapping attempt that tragically went wrong. Details remained limited, but the sorrow was immeasurable. Amid an outpouring of sympathy and condolences, Savannah shared portions of the letter on Today, her voice trembling as she read her mother's final reflections. The note stripped away the layers of a life defined by quiet strength, steadfast faith, and burdens borne in silence. Nancy had not meant for the letter to serve as a farewell. It had been written as a private reflection, perhaps sensing her time was drawing near. Yet in death, it became her enduring legacy, a testament to the profound inner life of a woman who had given everything to her loved ones and her community. Nancy Ellen Long entered the world on January 27, 1942 in Fort Wright, Kentucky, a small town just across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. The world was engulfed in World War II at the time, but inside the modest home of her parents, William and Jane Long, life was marked by simplicity and Midwestern principles. Fort Wright, with its gentle hills and close-knit neighborhoods, was a place where community bonds ran deep. Church bells rang every Sunday, and potluck gatherings brought families together. Nancy, the eldest child, was a cherubic little girl with round cheeks, curly hair, and striking blue eyes that would become a family hallmark for generations. Her childhood unfolded during the hopeful post-war decades of the 1940s and 1950s when America was rebuilding and optimism filled the air for those willing to work diligently. Growing up in northern Kentucky, NY's upbringing was firmly rooted in Catholic tradition. She attended St. Agnes Elementary School, where disciplined nuns instilled in her the values of faith, service, and academic excellence. She would later remind her children that education opened doors they might never even realize existed. In 1959, she graduated from Notre Dame Academy, an all-girls Catholic high school in Park Hills, Kentucky, known for its demanding academics and strong moral foundation. The school shaped her character and sharpened her intellect, while nurturing her early love of writing and storytelling. Friends remembered her as spirited, quick-witted, and enthusiastic about putting words on paper. She participated in school activities, perhaps debate or literary clubs, though many of those details survived mainly in family recollections rather than official records. Kentucky's rolling bluegrass landscape and vibrant traditions left a permanent imprint on her. She cherished the excitement of horse races at Keeneland, the warmth of Southern hospitality, and the resilient spirit of her home state. Her life began to take clearer shape at the University of Kentucky, where she enrolled in the early 1960s to study journalism. She was drawn to the transformative power of words, their ability to inform, uplift, and connect people. Joining the staff of the Kentucky Journal, the university's student newspaper, she rose to the role of society editor. The position allowed her to cover social gatherings, weddings, and community events with an eye for nuance and empathy. Her editor during 1962 to 63, Jack Guthrie, no relation, later praised her talent, noting her gift for elevating ordinary moments into meaningful stories. It was also during college that she met Charles Errol Guthrie on a blind date arranged by friends. Charles, a mining engineering student from Pineville, Kentucky who had graduated from Georgia Tech, first took her to a University of Kentucky basketball game, an essential Wildcats tradition. His quiet assurance and adventurous spirit captivated her. Though she later described it as love at first sight, she admitted to Savannah that she tried to appear composed. They dated throughout her college years, dreaming together about travel and family. Nancy earned her degree from UK, a symbol of independence at a time when many women were expected to prioritize marriage over careers. On December 28, 1963, Nancy and Charles married in a graceful yet simple ceremony in Kentucky. The Cincinnati Enquirer announced their wedding, highlighting her university education and his engineering profession. Their marriage was grounded in shared faith, mutual respect, and a readiness to embrace wherever life might lead. Charles's career as a mining engineer carried them across various U.S. locations and eventually overseas. In 1971, while they were living in Melbourne, Australia, Nancy gave birth to their youngest child, Savannah Clark Guthrie, on December 27th, just one day before their 8th wedding anniversary. Nancy would later tell Savannah that her arrival completed their family, which already included older siblings Annie and Cameron. 2 years later, in 1973, the family relocated to Tucson, Arizona. Attracted by Charles's career opportunities and the promise of southwestern sunshine, they made their home in a burnt adobe house in the Catalina foothills, surrounded by desert beauty and peaceful affluence.